If you download that PDF, it's upside down, so just hit the little arrow button so you can rotate it around. This is what the cap screw is going to look like. There's two different methods to do it. We could use the Revolve Tool, create this bottom drawing, revolve it on a center line, or we could just do it the way that we're used to by drawing circles up. We're just going to stick with that method for right now. We're going to use these measurements up here in this top part of the drawing. See, this down here is for using Revolve Measurements, and this is the typical way that we're going to do. So we're going to use these. So let's go into Inventor, start a new part. Since the cap screw is going to go onto the part straight up and down, if you look back on page 2, I think, this assembly, you can see that the cap screws are going to be up and down, even though this is upside down again. But we're going to select, if you start a 2D sketch, we're going to select the top plane, so that way we can build the screw on a vertical. So we're going to select this XZ plane, rotate it down. You don't really have to, but if you want to. So we'll start with a circle in the middle. Wait for that little green dot to pop up. Left click once. As we drag our circle out, we'll look for the measurement on the PDF page. So the first one is 3/8. So we're going to make this bottom part first. So we'll go 3/8, and we are going to extrude that 3/4 of an inch. So this would be 3/8 diameter. So if you're in the radius, you're going to right click, change your measurement to diameter, 3/8, and then hit enter. We will finish that sketch. Extrude a distance of 3/4, and then hit OK. So now we have the bottom part. Now we need to create this little top part. So we're going to select this top face and create a sketch on that face. We're going to use the circle button again. From the middle, we will left click and drag out, and this measurement will be 9/16, and it'll be a extrusion of 1/4 inch deep. So 9/16 is our measurement here. We'll then finish this sketch, and we will go up to the extrude button. It's already starting to bring this up, and this is going to be 1/4 inch, and we're going to hit OK. So we have, the part up top and then the bottom. So the only thing we're missing now is this rounded section right here at the top. And for this, we're going to use a new command called Revolve. So just like the bearing, we have to create a work plane, because you cannot draw on a rounded surface. You have to create a work plane to work off of. So if you go over to the origin folder in your model tree over to the side, open up that folder, select the YZ plane, And then there's this create a sketch. We're going to create a sketch. So right now we're in the middle of this object. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line. So select line. And we're going to wait for the snap to appear here in the middle. So left click once. And as we move our cursor up, we're going to make this go up 5/16. So 1/4 from 5/16 should be 1/16. So we're going to have this go up 1/16. Hit enter. And to get the nice smooth round surface here, we're going to now use the arc tool, a 3-point arc tool. So select 3-point arc. Start your arc on the top of that line that you just created. And select the right edge of your screw. Once you click there, you're going to notice it's starting to make a rounded edge. We want to make that 9/16. So as you move your cursor, you don't want to have it come up here or down here. You want to make sure that the arc's kind of going like this, and type in 9/16. Hit escape a couple times. Now we have like a profile that we're going to try to revolve. So you're going to finish this sketch. You can see that we have from the center this little profile. We're going to use the Revolve Tool. And once you select the Revolve Tool, a dialog box will pop up. And right now it's telling us to select the axis. If you look here, the axis button is highlighted blue. So the axis would be, how do you want to revolve it about? So you'd want to select this vertical line right here, so that way it'll revolve around it. And you want to do a full revolution, so all the way around. So once I select this, you can see it's starting to create a rounded surface all the way around. You could even look in a different view, see how nice little round. Then we're going to hit the green check box or the OK button. So now we have this round part. The next step will be to create the slot, so you could use a flathead screwdriver. So right here is the slot, which goes down 3/16 of an inch from the bottom here. There's a couple different ways that we can do it. The way that we're gonna create this will be to create a work plane 3/16 of an inch up, or actually no, sorry, 5/16 of an inch up, and then we will extrude a rectangle down into it 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so again, you can't draw on this surface. If you notice, I move my cursor here. You can't create a sketch on a rounded surface, so we need to offset a work plane in order to draw here. So what we're going to do is you're going to come up here to the plane button to pull down, and we're going to select offset from plane. You're going to select that button, and as we move our cursor towards the bottom right here, of that top part of your screw, you'll notice that it's highlighting a work plane. So there's a work plane that we can offset up. So let's go ahead and click on that. And right now the arrow is going down, but we want it to actually go up. So we're going to type in a negative number. So we're going to go negative 5/16. After we've done that, we are going to correction, we're actually going to create and offset a work plane, and we're going to offset this work plane negative 3/16, and that'll allow us to have a work plane located here at the bottom of this slot that we will extrude up. So we will create a sketch on this work plane. So once we've created the work plane, simply click on it, hit the create sketch button. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a rectangle that's going to be above and to the left center of this top screw, and then to the bottom right past it, so that way we know we're going to cut away from it. So something like this. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to dimension it next, so hit the dimension tool, and we're going to select this right vertical line, and as you move your cursor towards the middle, you'll select the point. The little point will appear, and you're going to dimension and tie this down 0.047 on both sides. I got that measurement from here, from our drawing example. So we'll use the dimension tool again. This vertical line on the left to the center, 0.047. And it's okay to have the rectangle go past the object like this. We just want the width, because we already have a starting point, which you'll see in a second. Once you create this rectangle with the 0.047, go ahead and finish the sketch. You can see it'll start right there. We're going to use the extrude button, but we want to cut, so we're going to use the cut button. And you can see here in the example that it's already starting to cut it away. You can change the extent distance to all, so that way it cuts the top part of the cap screw out. And then we're going to hit OK. And you can see that we have our slot created now. We can hide this work plane, so we don't really need it anymore. You don't need to delete it. You could just come over to your model tree, right click on it, and then uncheck the visibility. Just a couple more steps to finish this up. We're looking at our example. It has a chamfered bottom, 45 degrees and 1/32 distance. So using our view cube, if we create the view towards the bottom, we'll go underneath the fillet button to the chamfer option. Using the second option, which is distance and angle, we'll change the distance number to 1/32, and we'll leave it at 45 degrees. We'll select this face at the bottom to start, and the edge, the bottom edge of the cap screw. You can see before you accept, it's going to create a chamfer at the bottom. We'll hit OK. Lastly, we need to thread this. In the drawing example, it doesn't give you the thread designation, but the thread designation was on the base plate. So if we were to open up the base plate, you can see here's the thread designation, 24 UNF 2B. I don't know why they don't provide it again in this example. It's just a drawing example. So we're going to use these same threading because that's what it's going to be used for. We'll go underneath the hole button. There's the thread command. As you move your cursor onto the screw, you can see it's starting to thread it for you. So if you just left click and then underneath the specification tab, we're going to change this to 24 UNF. You want to keep this at 2A because the other one is 2B, so this should be 2A. Hit OK, and you have your cap screw finished.